What does it mean to love a forest? I'm reaching out because today I found out that my first book, How to Love a Forest, is available for pre-order. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about where this book came from and why it's so meaningful to me. In my professional life, I'm a forester, so I help landowners do management on their own land. And in my personal life, about 7 years ago, I became the owner of this piece of land that I call Bear Island. Another thing to know about Bear Island is that it had basically every problem that a forest could have. It had been poorly managed in the past, and I remember the first time I visited here, I said to myself, there are no healthy trees left here. All the skid trails and the access roads were washed out and eroding. There was evidence of a deer overpopulation, which was limiting the forest's ability to regenerate and to be diverse. And there was a 30-acre, almost pure infestation of non-native invasive plants that was among the worst that I'd ever seen. And so suddenly, all of these problems became my problem. And I started to ask myself, would it have been a greater expression of compassion just to leave this forest alone, or to use the tools at my disposal to try and help it? I think for many of us, there's this dichotomy, right? That if you love forests and you love trees, you leave forests alone. And the people who do stuff like manage them, like cut trees, like control invasives, like kill deer, are people who just don't care. And what I started to realize was that actually, in this case, all of those things were the most radical expressions of compassion. They were extremely hard, at times heartbreaking, always bittersweet. And yet, all of those things were completely necessary to help this forest be healthy again. They were all things that I could do to help. And not just to help me have a better forest, but to help all of us have forests that are capable of dealing with the effects of climate change, dealing with non-native invasive plants, animals, pests, and pathogens, dealing with all of these issues that forests are forced to confront at once. I'm not a writer who's also a forester. I'm a forester who taught myself to write. So over the 6 years that it's taken me to write this book, I've worked hard to figure out a way to convey these ideas to you all in a way that I hope will be impactful, that will change the way you think about what forests are, how they work, and what it means to care for them. And the result is that this is much less of a cookbook about this is exactly what you do to care for an ecosystem, and much more about what is an evolved way to think about our relationship to forests and other ecosystems at this moment in time? What does it mean to care for them? What does it mean to love them? I hope that you all read it. I hope that you like it. Pre-order is available from all the major booksellers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookstore.org, and it's also available through the publisher Broadleaf Books website, but also from your local independent booksellers. I'd encourage you all, if you're thinking about pre-ordering the book, give your local bookseller a call, see if they'll pre-order it for you. You might even be able to just do it through their website and see if we can support some of those small local booksellers. So what does it mean to love a forest? Hopefully you'll pre-order the book and we can find out together.